So the next speaker is my dear colleague Shravan Chunduri, our head of technology, and he will just guide you a little bit of what we saw and showed in our top solar module efficiency ranking over the course of 2022. Shravan, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Michael. Can you see my screen, actually?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So, hello, everyone. Today, I am going to present a preliminary analysis on our top modules feature. We will also publish a detailed report on the topic. Before I go into the main topic of my presentation, I would like to take this opportunity to provide brief introduction of our company. We are actually two companies and we have two platforms. TaiyangNews is an open platform. We publish reports on advanced PV technologies. We also publish market surveys on various production equipment and process consumables. TaiyangNews differentiation is that it is an open platform. That means all the publications can be accessed for free. Whereas Mishko is our consulting arm through which we provide services for a fee. Our services include communication strategy development, technical research, and market intelligence. With consulting services, we go much deeper into the specific topics. Excuse me. As I mentioned earlier, my today's presentation is a preliminary analysis of our TopCon module feature. After all, module is the end product where all the advancements have to be reflected, right? So TaiyangNews has started the top modules feature from the beginning of the last year. The feature is really about listing modules with top efficiencies. So the idea behind it was to really make a rewarding list for technically advanced module products, and of course, also to educate the segment. We update the list on monthly basis and publish on our website in top modules section. So far, we have published 13 editions of the top modules feature. The key topic I'm going to cover today are the methods of the qualification criteria, or how one can qualify these products into our list, and how the list has grown in terms of companies and products, how the efficiency has progressed, also with respect to the cell technologies, then powertrain, and finally conclusions. On our website, we actually also publish a little video with our top modules listing. I will try to show you the video first. Hopefully it works. So this is the table that we publish along with our graph. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it also has a music, but I don't think you were able to listen to it because I don't know how to share the music. But before going into the details, here is some background on the methodology and the selection criteria. The first benchmark here is the efficiency. So we only list products with efficiencies of 21.5% or above. And we only list the commercially available modules. For us, commercially available modules means the complete data sheet should be available on the company's website. And if someone is willing to buy such modules, they must be available for purchase. And so that also means that we don't just take the announcements into consideration. And sometimes if we hear something, we will also do a little bit of a background check if the product is really available. And we only take one top module from each cell technology stream of one module maker. So for example, if a company is offering two different product streams based on PERC technology, then we will only list the product with the highest efficiency. But for example, if the company is offering the products based on PERC and TOPCon, and both the products have efficiencies about 21.5%, then both the products are listed in our top modules list. And we only list products from the integrated cell and module makers. So what does this means is we will not include the modules built on externally sourced cells. So the graph here is the first edition of our top modules, which we published in last year's January. So going into the analysis part a little bit. So here we look at the products and the suppliers number. So as you can see, the number of products have been increased, from 15 to all the way to 34 in the span of 1 year. So there is also very increased emphasis on the efficiency. This is indicated by the number of companies that have also increased from 15 to 23. But you might also question, so why the number of products are not same as the number of suppliers? So this is because more and more companies are offering more than one product stream. So that means companies are doing either on top of PERC, either IBC, or heterojunction, or TOPCon. That's why the number is lower. So a little bit more into the analysis. So here is the brief summary on the efficiency. And it is really interesting that the highest module efficiency has increased 1% absolute in this 1 year. The top efficiency was 22.7% when we started last year, January. This has now increased to 22.8%. This might look a little bit less, but something really spectacular that has happened, that SunPower has been the market leader for offering the top efficiency modules. Initially, it was only SunPower, and then there is a long gap in terms of efficiency that there was no one ever close to SunPower. But this has changed in the last 1 year, especially very recently in November. You will see more details in the upcoming slides. But just here, the summary is LONGi, with its latest HYMO-6 series based on HPBC technology, has also reached 22.8% efficiency at part to the SunPower's module. So even the number of products with efficiencies higher than 22.5% have increased 2 to 5 in 1 year. So this is really the highest efficiency band gap. So increasing efficiency is not very easy, but still there was really a great progress, I would say. Then the band from 22 to 22.5% saw the highest growth rate. The production, the products have increased from 2 to 8. And the third band that really got the lowest representation, then 21.5 to 21.7% range is mostly, this range is mostly represented by the PERC, and the product count has increased from 9 to 18. So in the beginning, PERC was not able to support the efficiencies beyond 21.5%, but now this threshold has been pushed to 21.7%. However, a few companies are offering this highest level of 21.7%. So for example, if you see here, there are 18 products that were listed in our latest January top modules edition. And out of this, only 3 are 21.7%. And 2 are at 21.68, 4 modules at 21.6%, 3 at 21.57%, and 1 at 21.56, and 4 are at 21.5. So there is an equal, real good distribution of efficiency even at the PERC level. For going beyond 21.7%, module makers are typically using advanced cell structures like TOPCon and heterojunction. Of course, IBC is also in the radar of a few companies, but I would say TOPCon and heterojunction are the 2 main routes. This chart here summarizes the efficiency progress. So the number of products listed in 4 efficiency categories. So that's greater than 22.5%, then 22% to 22.5, then 21.7 to 22%, then 21.5% to 21.7%. And here is the total number. So, but this graph kind of looks a little bit complex. And it would be nice to dwell independently into each efficiency category to understand what are the real trends. Of course, we will do that in the report, but today I will only take the top efficiency band, which is greater than 22.5% efficiency. As you can see here, till June, it was only 2 companies, that is Maxeon and Jollywood, that were offering such products. Maxeon's efficiency was 21.7%, which was increased to 21.8% later in April. And Jollywood was at 22.58%. Then in July, Huasan joined the club with 22.53% with its heterojunction module. Then in October, Jinko Solar entered the league with 22.65% with its TOPCon taking the 2nd place. Then in November, LONGi actually surprised the industry with its HPBC technology, realizing 22.8%, as I mentioned, at par to Maxeon's back contact module, IBC module, which ruled the industry for several years. Then this chart actually summarizes the cell technologies distribution along the products of the top modules listed in each month. Again, this also looks a little bit complex here. We can understand it easily when we break down to each technology level. So I will try to go through a little bit because it's technology a little simpler than the previous slide. So with IBC, sorry, the graph is a little smaller. I could not fix it. So with IBC, it was mainly 2 companies in the beginning, LG and Maxeon. Then in March, SPIC product also came into the market. Then LG said it exited the solar. So we delisted the LG. There's only Maxeon and SPIC remained in the list. Again, in November listing, LONGi came out with their HPBC. So that's why the number increased to 3. Moving on to the heterojunction. In the last year's Jan, there were only 2 companies that were offering high efficiency heterojunction modules. These were REC and Meyer Burger. Then Huasan and Jinergy entered into our February listing. Then in June, Canadian Solar entered. Then AKCOM has also entered with its product in August. So the heterojunction module. So these companies really continued. You might wonder why the list went down to 5. That's because AKA-Com's website was not listing its heterojunction module, so we have delisted. But again, the module reappeared, so we again included the module. Then going on to the TopCon, in last year, Jan, we first listed Jinko and Megasol. Then in February, the Megasol was replaced by Jollywood. And we found out that the Megasol was not really offering the product into the mainstream. So Jollywood and Jinko remained the only pair of TopCon module makers that can offer higher efficiency products. Later in June, QCells and Chint Astro Energy started offering such products. Then in September, Eging joined the stream. Then JA, Das Solar, and Trina also entered. Then again, down by 1 in the next month. That's again because QCells was not really listing their products on website. Again, it was back to the listing because we could find the product on the website. So all these companies that are offering the TopCon products are also active in the PERC segment, and the number of companies also offering the PERC products has increased from 8 to 17 in the last 1 year. So this is the efficiency distribution of different cell technologies on monthly basis. Again, breaking down to each cell technology level gives more clarity. For IBC, it was mainly Maxeon and LG, as I mentioned in the previous slide. For the first 2 months, it was 22.7 and 22.3 here. And then SPIC entered with somewhat a lower efficiency level at 22%. In March, both SPIC and Maxeon, they have increased their efficiency by 0.1%, and they really continue till June. Then in July, SPIC alone has increased its efficiency level to 22.3% from 21%. These efficiency levels are still continuing. So the only change is LONGi also added to the list with its 22.8%. Going for the heterojunction, the lower limit has been maintained at 21.68% from the last February till the latest January edition. But REC was really leading till May here. And then in June, Canadian Solar came out with their 22.3% efficiency module. And then the next month, Huasun came out with their 22.53 efficiency module, which is still leading in the heterojunction segment. And as far as the TopCon goes, Jollywood actually retained its leadership for quite some time till September with its 22.53% efficiency. And then in October listing, Jinko started offering 22.65% efficiency. Sorry, I think there was some mistake. So this is actually 22.65% efficiency from Jinko Solar. And coming to the PERC really stayed between 21.5 and 21.7% for most of the last year. Of course, you see there is a peak, but I think this is one exceptional case where the manufacturer we included, but then later we learned that the product is not part of the mainstream offering, so we removed it. So then coming to the power trend, actually we again divided them into 3 categories. So less than 500 watts and 500 to 600 watts and greater than 600 watts. So high power, as you can see here, high power modules have always been dominating. So this higher number compared to the others. So when we looked into what was the technology involved in these different module power ratings, so what we found is most of the products with less than 500 watt are from high efficiency category, essentially IBC, heterojunction, and a few TOPCon. And as far as the power rating between 500 and 600, there is a mixed efficiency levels, and most high power modules are more or less, I would say, they belong to the low efficiency category. I think Jollywood is one company that has been offering for quite some time a 700 module that was still rated as a number 2 product in our efficiency listing, but really has very high power. But then Jollywood also came out in their latest listing with a low powered module, that means the smaller residential type module. So, here I come to the conclusions of my presentation. What we essentially learned after publishing the 13 editions of our top modules is the number of products and also the companies that are offering modules with 21.5% and more efficiencies are simply increasing. So this simply tells that there is an increased efficiency, emphasis on efficiency. So the highest module efficiency increased just 0.1% from 22.7 to 22.8%. But something really spectacular that has happened, that Maxeon, which has been leading the segment as a efficiency leader for, I think, several years, even before we started doing our top module feature, Maxeon was really leading. But now LONGi is also at par with this very high efficiency and with 22.8% efficiency. And more than 50% of modules listed in the top modules are in the efficiency of 21.5 to 21.7% efficiency band gap. So that means most of them are PERC modules. I think there is only one heterojunction module in this listing. And yeah, TOPCon list, the number of products that are in TOPCon are also growing, that we saw very recently. And majority of the high efficiency modules of low power and vice versa. So of course, you cannot summarize all these trends in one 15 minutes or 20 minutes presentation. So that's why we are going to deal all these, provide details, much more details of this analysis in our report. We are going to publish very soon. So thank you very much for your attention. And yeah, thank you, Michael. Over to you.
Thanks, Shravan, for this overview. As Shravan already said, we will come up with a report, and in the report we will also then display also the companies that Shravan showed here in this in this graphs, where it was more about volumes, quantities, and how that evolved. But we will also reveal then all the companies in this report. And maybe one question, so we're already a bit delayed, Shravan. I think so. What I found interesting with PERC is, when we started this this whole exercise, we had first few PERC manufacturers that were above 21.5. Then LONGi came with 21.6 something, and then some more came in and they were at 21.7. Are we really talking about PERC here, or are there some also passivation features that lift it to that level? Because that was always the question when I was seeing that first. Companies obviously didn't say, because that's PERC, they want to be at the top, and then comes TOPCon. But I don't know, what's your feeling?
Yeah, I think 21.7% is little on the edge for the top for the PERC, I would say. So I think it's not, I would say it's not really the mainstream technology process. So there is a little more emphasis. But of course, you know, when you are running gigawatts of production, so you always have a tail and head and tail. So some products, some cells which really are best processing conditions, probably they end up at there. But yeah, so you are right. So 21.7%, it's little higher for the PERC. At least when I talk to most of the people in the industry, they also are a little skeptical. So we try to find out best whatever we could, but at least companies are claiming that's PERC. But yeah, if my personal opinion is, yeah, I think I'm not surprised if there is a small surprise element mixed into PERC.
Okay. Yeah, I think there was one question maybe we want to address this, that also from Henning asking how we check the highest power efficiency classes for module there. Range are really available on the market. Normally data sheets show power classes higher than customers are able to buy. Maybe you should ask that to the companies when they present. So for us, it's the only way actually to do a check. We also thought about that. It has to be also in done with a reasonable amount of time. That's to do that. It's not a consulting project. It's just a publishing exercise. And this is the only way, because what we also realize is, of course, if you contact anyone, then they might tell you something even higher, but at least here is a level and the boundary conditions for everyone the same. So there is at least some threshold to publish on your website where your commercial products are a number that's available, even if the quantity is very small, or if the product is only coming in a month or two, but it's at least announced. So and here we have a level playing field, which is also transparent and which everyone can compare. I think that was important to us to give an indication with this module overview. Okay, yeah. Shravan, if there's any questions or so you might want to answer. I think there's also some general questions that would be nice if you could answer. Thanks again for your presentation. Okay.